Welcome to sunny Oregon. That's right, the words sunny and Oregon don't often go together, but look at this day. Mercedes flew me out here to test drive this car, the brand new E250 BlueTEC. In Mercedes, that means this is the diesel, and it's also the least expensive E-Class that you can buy in 2014. Coming up next on the Fast Lane Car. Under the hood is an inline-4 2.1 liter bi-turbo that puts out 195 horsepower, but get this, 369 pound-foot of torque. And since this is a Mercedes, here's a cool bit. Check it out. When you need to service it, the hood comes almost straight up. Sehr gut, danke schön.
Schön.
Ja? So, wie viele Horsepower, bitte?
Ganz schön viel.
Now, style-wise, the new 2014 E-Class is much more aggressive. There's a new LED lighting package. There's a new big star in the front. You can also get a luxury package with the star in the traditional place. Overall, they've kind of sharpened it. They've made it more aggressive. They've made it more in your face. Now, the interior of the 2014 E-Class is somewhat refreshed, but it's starting to show its age a little bit. I'm looking at the screen and I see that's a 5-inch screen, and that's probably looking pretty old and small at this point. Now, from a utility perspective, the front seat has plenty of room. I'm 6'2" and I fit like a king. Not so much back here. This is where I drive. This is where my feet are. It's a little tight back here. If you have a family of 5, you may consider this, but probably the Kombi or the wagon is a better choice. So, how does the new E-Class drive? Joe, what do you say?
I say it's nice and stable car. Offers the driver a nice, quiet ride. Very efficient.
What do you see the advantage of a diesel engine versus a traditional petroleum engine?
You know, first off, right away, the fuel economy.
Yep.
Typically, a diesel has almost 30% better fuel economy. But on top of that, just the way the car drives is very well suited for U.S. market. It's a lot of torque, low down in the rev range, so really stoplight to stoplight, you feel that great power. So you really are able to take advantage of a diesel, and that fits the U.S. driving style very well. Nice handling car.
I put you on the spot, I'm sorry. This is Joe Cesny from the Oakland Press, right?
Right.
And he's my driving partner. When we go on these events, they match us up, and we just happen to come to the airport at the same time, so we're driving the E-Class at the same time. Yeah, I agree with you. You know, it's nice. It's very confident. It's very stately.
The model year 14, we have the most significant redesign with this new E-Class that we've had in our history. So whether it's exterior, we see that instantly recognizable as an update to the car.
Yeah, I noticed that the front is much sportier.
Yeah, sportier front end design, really from
a little bit more aggressive.
Exactly, from the A-pillar forward, everything is new. And with the sport model, we've had the sport luxury strategy that we've had since we launched this version, and now we get a little bit more differentiation with the integrated star in the grille versus the stand-up star. So that does give it a sportier look.
It gives you a nice sense of confidence when you're behind the wheel.
Solid?
Yeah, solid. You feel both safe and comfortable in the car.
You can also get your 4MATIC system, right, in these cars.
And that's one of the things. And when you think more specifically about the diesel we're in today, one of the main reasons we wanted to get the 4-cylinder in this car is then to be able to have the availability of 4-wheel drive, which we haven't had traditionally on the E-Class diesel. So we have it in 2-wheel drive, which is our price leader, but then offering the 4MATIC we see as a great opportunity, especially for customers in the Midwest and in the Northeast.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing like a Mercedes in the way that this car goes down the road. First of all, you feel like you could drive this forever.
Right, it looks like you could take this on a long, long trip, and you would never really get tired of driving it.
And listen to how quiet this is.
Yes, and noise is an important factor, I think sometimes an underrated factor in driving. Noise causes fatigue, and I don't think this car will fatigue you over a long drive.
No, if anything else, it'll actually make you feel pretty good about it, because there's so many different adjustments here. I don't think that this one necessarily has the massaging seats. I haven't checked, but of course a lot of them do. So yeah, the Germans know how to do road trips, and they know how to do road trip cars, and this is one of the ultimate road trip cars in my opinion.
And the array of safety, electronic safety devices on the car is very impressive too. You have the lane departure warning, you have automatic braking, you have automatic steering. So all this makes it for a very impressive package. A little pricey perhaps, but it's still very impressive.
Yeah. So here's the crazy bit, right? I'm going to turn on, I just turned it on, it says Distronic Plus on, set at 53 miles an hour. So now I have the cruise control on, and now basically the car will drive itself. Check this out. My hands are not on the wheel, and here comes a turn, and look, the car is correcting. It's crazy. And if there's a car in front of me, it'll also slow down on its own. And it's still driving itself, and we're going around this nice bend. At some point, the car's going to say, put your hands back on the wheel, which it did right there, and I have to put my hands back on the wheel, because otherwise the car disengages all that. It's actually pretty scary to watch it do it. Look, I just got my fingers on the wheel right now, and there's a turn coming up. This is the crazy part. Look at that wheel. It's turning itself. I'm doing nothing. I'm just keeping my fingers there so that the... Whoa! It disengaged. See? It saw that my hands weren't on the wheel. Those crafty Germans. And let's talk about the technology, because one of the cool things about this car is that it brings kind of the S-Class technology to the E-Class. And when I was driving it up here, the car was basically driving itself. I was amazed.
Yeah, you're right. That's our Distronic Plus with steering assistance. And with that, and as you mentioned, the nice thing is we don't just reserve that technology, because a lot of it's all new coming with the S-Class. But we felt like the E-Class, as you mentioned, it's just too important in our lineup to not bring that technology to bear within this car.
Check this out. Now, the car is engaged. You see that green steering wheel? That means that it will drive itself. I'm going to take my hand off the wheel. One hand's holding the camera, one hand is off the wheel. No hands on the wheel. Look at this. The car is steering itself. Isn't that crazy? And pretty soon what's going to happen is you're going to get a little, there. The car wants me to put my hand back on the wheel, because it will not always do that with my hand off the wheel. It's amazing. We are probably 95% of the way to autonomous cars at this point.
But what it does is the technology augments the driver. It helps the driver stay on the road, stay alert, and stay out of trouble.
Yeah, and I've got it set for 100 feet in front of me, so any car 100 feet in front of me. And unlike the previous systems that were on these cars, this car will actually come to almost a complete stop if you let.
Right.
If you let it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Now, we did say it was kind of comfortable, serene, and safe. Exciting, I'm not sure about that. There's plenty of torque. I'm flooring it right now. You know, it's not exactly a race car, but it's not meant to be a race car. I have a sense of what the front wheels are doing, but this whole car is so well dampened that it somehow takes a little bit of the life out of the driving experience.
But on the other hand, you have to remember that for a stately ride, for a long drive, and for comfort, and I think it's hit all the marks in this car.
Yeah, it's not an SL, it's not a sports car, it's a sedan, and it drives like one of the oldest and most smartly engineered sedans in the world. I agree. Thank you. You're great. That was really good. Okay. That was very impromptu, and I'm sorry I threw you into the deep end.
No, that's okay.
That's why he's a professional, and I'm the goofball broadcast journalist. Now, while this car may start at $52,000, this particular one is $64,000. That's because it's got all the bells and whistles, including 4MATIC, which is Mercedes' all-wheel drive system. And if you're interested in this car, it's going to hit the showrooms next month. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Thanks for watching, and remember, subscribe for a new car video, not always from sunny Oregon every day. Ciao. Welcome to the spectacular yet unheralded west coast of Oregon. Now you might be asking yourself, what am I doing here? Well, the question isn't what I'm doing here, but how did I get here? I'll give you a hint. the brand new Mercedes E250 Cabriolet, coming up next on the Fast Lane Car. Just spectacular.